What's up YouTube? It's Brian Bonebons here with a video from that guy, what's his name again? Crossbow Bolt Water or something like that. Hold on one second. Gav, has he paid us? Yeah, he did, Brian. He's given us a good amount of money actually. Anyway, without further ado, and with a guy with opinions that count, maybe not as much as mine, my opinions count, yours don't. This is Arrow Fire. Apparently he has sex with his hair.
Thanks Brian for that wonderful introduction. Hello everyone and welcome. Yes, my name is Arrowfire and welcome to a festive episode of My Top 5. Yes, I'm going to do a top 5 roundup for my pickups this year. And of course, before we start, I'll show you my lovely Transformers Christmas jumper, which of course I wear every year because I don't have another one. Now, just to be clear, same rules as last year. This is going to be my top 5 pickups in 2021. Not necessarily figures that have just been released in 2021, just my pickups throughout. But of course, before we start, I want to say a massive thank you to all the people who have followed me and subscribed and commented on my videos this year. It's been great having you along. It's been a wonderful ride and we'll carry it on into 2022. So in at number 5, we're going to have a look at the fourth party, knockoff if you like, Jungle Warrior. This is their take on a masterpiece Beast Wars Tigatron. Now, being a massive Beast Wars fan that I am, I wasn't the biggest Tigatron fan in the world, but the masterpiece figures I think for Beast Wars that Takara has done, I think, as I've said before, have been some of the best masterpiece on the market. When I saw this figure I thought, oh, I'm not the biggest Tigatron fan and I certainly wasn't too comfortable with the price that Takara were asking for it. So when the fourth party one came out, and it was actually reviewed by Ben's Collectibles, it was a good half the price and it's a very good figure. This is where you do see the blurring of lines between knockoff and fourth party. There's nothing of this is particularly inferior by any stretch of the imagination. The colour alone looks gorgeous. That teal green just looks stunning and so reflective. Now, I'm a big believer, of course, in that you've got to transform your figures. It's a gimmick that's there. You should be flipping them back and forward. Yes, they can be challenging to do so. Whilst I am a strong believer of that, when I look at this, particularly with this colour scheme, why would you? Why would you come away from that and hide it all in? The transformation can be a bit tedious, it can be a bit tabby. Then again, it is a tabby cat. See what I did there? But it's a great figure nevertheless, and I don't regret paying what I paid for it. It was considerably cheaper than the official, and that is number 5 for my pickup in 2021. In at number 4, we have TFC Toys Lucifer. Their take on a very stylised version of Cutthroat of the Terracons. Now, you've probably seen I've got a few of them up there. I've actually got all of the ones that they've released so far. We're still waiting on Hungar to be released and hopefully get Abominus finished and combined. This was one of the first that I've got, and I was, of this set that is, I was so impressed with it, particularly with the wingspan. It actually transforms into a very good robot mode, it's got good character to it, but just the presence, I am a sucker for a wide wingspan. When you see things like that, it can look very intimidating, particularly when you stick a gun on the shoulder, of course. It is a bit of a fiddly transformation, but not too much, but this does fall in that lovely grey area of not quite Chug, not quite Masterpiece, what I refer to as Chug Plus, but it's still a great set. I do like the stylized version of all of these figures, but this one really did strike a chord with me. I think it's just the sheer presence of what a Terracon really should look like. It should look terrorizing, with this thing swooping down towards you, and really this has been my favourite of the set so far. And in at number 3, what will be a favourite with a lot of people is Kingdom Cyclonus. And this is a beautiful figure. This is a brilliant figure in so many ways, and people have done it to death and said it to death about how good it actually is, with the only real fault that everyone kind of has with this figure, and it's a very picky fault at that, is the shade of purple being used. We would have liked it to have been a bit darker, a bit more metallic-y, but that aside, it is a wonderful figure, and this is really just summing up how the Chug line has been this year, and how this, and I would say Repgar as well, have really been the standout in the War for Cybertron series, or even in the Studio Series 86 series. This kind of peak that we're at with Takara or Hasbro and their Chug or their Generations line, if this is what we're getting, this has been the best figure that we've had to date. And the transformation I can't praise enough. It's such a fun transformation. You want to flip it back and forward. but I just can't find really anything wrong with it. Okay, you could maybe say about the colour, but for a Voyager figure at a Voyager price point to give people such joy really shows you how good this figure actually is. And if you don't have it in your collection, I highly recommend that you get one. And in at number 2, but narrowly missing out on the top spot, is MMC's Optus Pexus. Now, you would have seen on my channel that I did do a review of this at the time. I just felt like I had to, and where to begin with this figure? I mean, the fact that we actually get a dedicated Orion Pax figure, the fact that you actually get something that's very heavy on the IDW comics, and a very unique but potent style for Orion Pax and an early version of Optimus Prime. It's got so much to it, and it does speak to a niche audience, of course, but of course Optimus is popular in any continuity, so why should this be any different? I love everything from the colours used. It's not the most popping red, but it suits him nevertheless. I love the blue that's used. There's almost a purpley tinge to it. The fact that he comes with quite a few accessories for what he is. The transformation is a little fiddly, but again, I covered all of this in my review. The articulation is unreal. This is black magic territory, and this is probably why this has been one of the best figures released this year. Certainly one of my favourite pickups of the year. And it's a shame that it doesn't come with the shattered away face that we are getting with the Nemesis Prime reroll to really capture that IDW perspective. But that's the only thing I can say wrong about it. And in at number 1, I think you could probably guess where I'm going with this one. Fans Toys Quietus. Now, yes, it's been out for a little while, so people probably know about it, but this is my pickup, something that I've held off for a long time because of its price point. But whilst I might have given in my review higher ratings to the Optus Pexus and a slightly lesser rating for the Fans Toys Quietus, it was all about the price that held this figure back, and it was all about the price that stopped me from picking this figure up sooner. When I finally did pull the trigger on it, so to speak, and pick it up, I have not been disappointed with my purchase whatsoever. The amount of just the amount of everything from this figure, from presentation to heft to even a transformation, is satisfying in its way. The end result in both modes looks really good. This is, I wouldn't say it's worthy of its price point, but I can see why it's up there. And so little wonder that it is my top pickup of this year. It's been a gorgeous figure that I wish I picked up sooner. I certainly wish I picked it up cheaper, but there's not much you can do about that now. Again, if you can get it, I would love for you to do so if you are this way inclined, but it's not cheap and you won't find it much cheaper on the secondary market, but it's still a gorgeous figure that will really be the centerpiece of any Masterpiece collection. And there you go, that's my top 5 pickups for 2021. I've actually picked up quite a few bots this year. It was really hard to whittle down a list to just 5 of them. There's been so much in terms of the War for Cybertron releases, going into Kingdom, and now looking towards Legacy. I've actually gone back and picked up some other ones alongside with Quietus. I've also got the Fans Toys Sovereign, the Galvatron. It's again really hard to whittle down. There's so many good figures out there that you can finally go and complete your holy grails of choice. But what about you guys? What's your top 5 pickups for the years, or your just top pickup of the year if you've got just the one? I'd love to know your view. Please put a note in the comments below. But thanks for watching. Do enjoy the holiday season with whatever you're doing. Don't forget to like, share and hit that subscribe button. It will be a lovely Christmas present to me. And I will see you on the next one.